7 ways to become successful faster, more efficiently, and more effectively overall. Today is a very interesting episode, so I'm glad that you stuck around for another episode of my YouTube channel and my YouTube videos. I do like doing these. I make videos Monday through Friday, every single day, breaking down self-help, relationships, fitness, everything related to this, finance, and also business. That is my channel, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. So, 7 habits or tips or tricks to make you more successful now, today. These are very practical, these are very unique, and these probably are somewhere on the internet, but I decided to kind of put these all together. I spent a lot of time researching this, making sure that I had all the information properly organized into one solidified location for you, the listener, to enjoy. That way, you don't need to go trying to find it all over the place. I decided to do all the grunt work and the hard work for you. This is one of my favorite episodes I've ever had on my YouTube channel, and I really hope that you enjoy this. So the first thing that you need to do, the first habit, tip, or trick that you need to make sure that you're doing to become successful today is actually having targets and goals in your life. Because guess what? If you're walking along a path and you don't have a target or a goal, you'll never make it anywhere. You'll never become successful. But we need to ask ourselves, what is success, right? Success is whatever you define it as. Success could be more money in the bank, having better relationships with people, making sure you're more healthy, you're more energetic, and you're more active outside, making sure you're better at yoga and you're more spiritual in nature. I like to define success 4 ways. There are 4 pillars that Tai Lopez talks about. It's health, it's wealth, it's love, it's happiness. It's all 4 of the things that I just gave you examples about put into one thing. That is my life mantra: health, wealth, love, and happiness. Thank you very much, Tai Lopez. I love you. But you need to have goals for these things that are success. So having health, you need to make sure that you have a goal to make sure that your body is more in shape, that you're doing more every single day. This can look different for everybody because everybody is different in shapes, sizes, ages, all of these things. So maybe you want to get better at running. Maybe you finally want to run a marathon. My goal for biking, because I like biking to stay active, was biking 100 miles by the end of the year. I biked 100 miles within 6 months. It's pretty solid. It's pretty nice. And when I say biked 100 miles, I mean sat down on my bicycle for 6.5 hours and biked 100 miles. I biked all the way down to a little town far away from here and biked all the way back by myself, solo. It was a very good experience, and I'm actually going to be making a video on it later this week. The next thing is health, wealth. So making goals for your finances. If you're making $100,000 a year consistently at a job, sure, that's cool, that's awesome, that's great. But why are you making $100,000 a year every single year? Why don't you make $100,000 this year, $200,000 the next year, $400,000 the year after that, 500, and then 100 and a million? You can actually, exponentially grow that. No person on the planet ever said that this is the set wage you need to have your entire life. It just so happens that you as a human being can't produce enough income by yourself. What do I mean by this? No human or institution is going to pay you $3 million a year. It just doesn't work like that. Don't think the A-list celebrities or the huge people like Snoop Dogg or LeBron, anything like that. Because the chances of you becoming that, I'm sorry, are just out the window. But the chances of you actually making a salary that's $100,000, $200,000, $400,000, $1 million, $4 million, $10 million, $100 million, $1 billion is so much more reasonable, so much more actually accurate. You can do it literally whenever you want. You can make $1 million in 90 days if you tried hard enough. You need to understand some things about money. You need to understand how to earn it, how to keep it, how to multiply it every single day, every single week, every single century, every single year of your life. So, you need to know how to leverage your time. Leverage the assets that you have. Get people on a team. Multiply your time and yourself by working less and actually making more. That's what you need to do. All the time, every single day. But, of course, you don't know how to do that. So learn how to do it. That's what you should be striving for. So having goals like this is very, very, absolutely paramount to the success in your life. Then you have health, wealth, love. Love would be making sure that you actually put time in your schedule to go see your family, making sure you have time in your schedule to go help yourself, and making sure that you have time to build more relationships, more foundations, more things with people, going out on vacations, and doing things that you love to do. Health, wealth, love, and happiness. Happiness is the fourth pillar to success, according to Tai Lopez. Happiness could be more vacations, more time with yourself, making sure things that you are entertained by is something that you actually enjoy, something that you do actively every single day. That would be happiness. The second tip to making sure that you are successful would be to have a routine. This could be a morning routine, a daily routine, an evening routine, whatever it is that keeps you occupied and actually organized. Because organization is something that makes sure that you're so disciplined and you're so regimented in a routine that it makes sure that you can do things every single day to hit your daily targets, to make sure that you actually become successful, to hit those goals, to hit those targets that ultimately give you that success that you're looking for and that you're achieving, you're trying to help. So I have a morning routine, I have a daily routine, and I have an evening routine. The morning routine is simple. I made a video on it. You can go check that out on my channel. I have a daily routine, which is essentially the same thing as the morning routine, just extended over the entire day to make sure that I actually effectively get some work done. Like right now, my project is behind me, is the novel that I'm writing. I have a huge board and a huge outline. I make sure that I write 2,000 words every single day. I've only been writing for 2 days so far, and I've actually written 10,000 words a day, which probably equates to about 40 pages. I'm actually at page 43, so maybe I'm a little bit wrong with the pages or the words. You need to make sure you have routines, okay? Simple, put it out there, make sure that you find routines. You can find routines all over. You can make your own routine. You can read books on routines. You can do all these things on routines. Routines, just make sure you have one. Make sure that you actually set aside time to do things like spend time with family, make more money, making sure you're doing more cold calls or whatever it is that requires you to hit those targets that make you more successful. The third thing, which is the most important thing, I think, on this entire list, maybe not, is to make sure you get rid of every single distraction in your life. That is simple. I have a book behind me. It's called Indistractable. It's by Neural Isle. Incredible book for any person learning how to get rid of distraction and maintain focus. You first need to understand and define distraction. Distraction is anything that takes you away from traction. It's not just meaning that it's video games or social media time or going biking. Distraction is only when you don't have, when you're taking away from traction. So, if you purposely put in your schedule for the day during one of your deep work sessions, if you do deep works like I do, in the morning, let's say that from 7 to 8:30, which is 1.5 hours, which is a deep work session, your task is to play on social media. You have an hour and a half of social media time. That is traction. That is not distraction, because you are actually purposely putting that time into your day to make sure that you're actually on social media. So you're scrolling through social media, but then all of a sudden, you get a business call. You answer that business call and you're talking on the phone. The business call is actually a distraction because it's taking away from the traction that is the phone. You understand that? So if you don't really understand that concept, read Neural Isle's book, Indistractable. It is an incredible read. It is really fast. I read it in literally a day. But other than that, the next thing that you need to make sure you're doing is actually learning how to say no. Saying no is very key and fundamental, especially when you try to be successful, because people try to take your time. This is the distraction thing I was just talking about. Every single day and every single moment of every single day, people are always trying to get your attention. Hey, can you help me with this? Hey, what's going on with the project over there? Hey, can you go do this at the store? And if you're trying to focus on one task at a time, you have to be able to say no. This is my time, and you're not going to distract me. Once I'm done with this, once I'm done with my deep work session, I'll absolutely get up and go do that thing. But I specifically set a 1.5 hour time block for this thing. Right now, my 1.5 hour time block is to record YouTube videos. I'm batching out an entire set of YouTube videos for the next week. This is the only time I get to do YouTube videos, so this is the only time I'm actually going to get to do YouTube videos, if you understand that. So, making sure that you say no to things appropriately. You can practice this by, when somebody says to you, hey, can you help me with this? Actually, right now I'm kind of busy, but I'd be happy to help you later on in the week or something like that. What time works better for you? What helps me a lot is having appointments. I have this app called Calendly, and if somebody's going to call me, you actually need to set up an appointment with me to actually talk to me. This makes me feel more professional, and it also acts as more of a professional thing for people when they're trying to talk to me. If somebody's talking to me about business or talking to me about whatever, they need to schedule an appointment with me, because I'm not somebody who just passes my free time out to everybody. If you just passed your money out to everybody, you'd be broke. If you pass your time out to everybody, you're going to be time broke. And you don't want to be time broke, because guess what? Time is the only resource you don't get back. So make sure that you keep that thing so scarce and so deliberate. You don't just give it out to anybody. Schedule appointments. Say no to things. Making sure that you actually have the routine set in place, set in stone, so that you don't lose traction. Traction is everything because it builds momentum. You're building a snowball. And if you're building that snowball and it starts getting really, 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 really big, and then someone takes a 12-gauge shotgun and shoots it because they want to have a meeting with you, all of a sudden that snowball blows up and you have to restart. Okay? Actually, I'm doing the snowball thing right now. I'm making these YouTube videos. My dad just came up and said, hey, dinner's ready. Okay, dinner's ready. I'm going to eat, but once I'm done with my deep work, and then I'll go eat. Because this is the traction. This is the momentum. Nobody takes me out of the traction. Nobody takes me out of the momentum. Nobody should do that to you either. The next thing to do is learn to manage, earn, and make money. There are 3 steps to money, and they're very simple. They're very easy to understand. It's you need to first earn it, you need to keep it, and then you need to multiply it. So keeping it and managing it are probably the same thing. Managing it would make sure that you are putting that in appropriate accounts. So you appropriately put money away into taxing accounts, or you appropriately put it into investments, cash accounts, retirement accounts, real estate accounts. Doing all of these things and actually managing your money properly allows you to make more money, but also keeping your money. Like I said in a previous video, if somebody gave you $100 million right now, I guarantee you within a few days you'd probably lose all that money, or in a few years you'd be totally bankrupt, and you'd actually owe money. And you'd be like, how's that possible? Well, it happens every single day when people win the lottery, or when people are drafted for a huge NFL football team, they get a huge contract. They're football players, not banks, not financial advisors. They don't know how to manage the money that they have. They spend it on things like Lambos, Gucci, Paddocks, Richard Milles. They spend it on things that don't actually matter. They're called liabilities. So what you need to learn how to do is actually put your money into investments. This doesn't mean just stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, those types of things, or crypto. It means things like real estate, like actual buildings that produce you cash flow, that you can actually make money off of consistently. You need to learn how to do that. Now, I can teach you how to do that, but I'm 17 years old, so why would you want to listen to me? You need to learn how to do it from somebody who actively does it. So I recommend somebody like Grant Cardone. I wouldn't recommend Dave Ramsey to you. Patrick Bet-David talks about it briefly. You can learn Robert Kiyosaki's way how to do it. I would just pick one teacher and just stick with that person forever. They can be your dad, they can be your uncle. Make sure that they've actually done it themselves, and make sure that they're actually credible in what they're saying. Grant Cardone is a huge one. He's done $2.2 billion in real estate. He does hundreds of millions of dollars in all of his courses online. He's written so many books. The guy's widely successful. Follow him for a while. I promise you'll get some good benefit from that. The next thing is to stay accountable. Because guess what? When you have routines, when you have goals, when you have things that you're doing every single day, and when this camera turns off, you're going to be left with your own devices, with your own self, your own routines, your own habits every single day. And the whole purpose of this video is to strip you from all of the negative things that have happened in your life that prevent you from being successful, and replacing them with actually positive enforcing habits that allow you to actually grow as a person. So you need to stay accountable. When you start falling off the track, when you start falling off the wagon because you're not eating the food that you're supposed to be eating for your diet, then smack yourself in the face and say, no, you're going to get back into it. No, you're going to do this for 30 days. I don't care what's going to happen. Writing my book is probably the hardest thing I'm ever doing because it requires me to sit down every single day for 30 days to write 2,000 words a day. I'm passionate about the project, but it is hard for people to stay consistent with things, especially adding random things into your life. The next task I'm gonna take after my 30 days of writing is 90 days to make $1 million. So as soon as I get into college, first 90 days I'm gonna try to make $1 million. I already did this challenge last year, and I was very consistent with it, but I wasn't successful. So we're going for round 2, making sure that I can try to do it for the second time, making sure I actually have implemented the assets and the contacts that turn into contracts to actually make the cash flow that I want to make over the next 90 days. But you need to be accountable. You need to make sure that you have people in your life, accountability partners, contracts, pacts with people, so that if you fall off the bandwagon, you have consequences that actually act in your life, so that it's actually a real thing. People hate losing stuff. If you put $100 on the line and you say, Billy, if I, at all, lose my diet for one day, I pay you $100, you're going to actually get your butt in gear because you don't want to lose the $100. It's not that it's just $100. It could be $1,000, it could be $10, it could be whatever. You don't want to lose it. Because losing, like I said, it adds up tallies into your identity and your mind. And you don't like losing. So keep winning, keep those small wins, and gradually grow that snowball, grow that traction, grow that momentum so that it's so powerful that it starts working on its own. It becomes part of you. It grows and builds your own identity. You start becoming the person that you try to be every single day to the point where you don't even need to think about it. I've been working out consistently for 2 years. I don't even need to think about going to the gym or working out because I do it every single day. It doesn't need to be something I actively, making sure I got to work out today. No, I just do it. And I love it. Absolutely love it. And the seventh most important thing on the list, this is actually the most important thing, is making sure you have a mentor. If you want to make $1 million in 100 days, it's probably going to be difficult if you've only made $7,000 in your entire lifetime. But if your mentor happens to be somebody who makes $1 million a day, I'm pretty sure you're able to learn a thing or two from this guy. That's your mentor, your coach, so that you could probably make your process a lot easier. Because if somebody's making $1 million every single day, and you're trying to make $1 million in 100 days, that'd be $100 million for him, and he could probably help you make $1 million. I'm not just saying that he needs to give you $1 million. I'm saying that you need to find people in your life that have actively done the things that you're trying to do right now. They can be your coach, they can be a mentor, they can be anybody. Making sure that they're actively in your life, talking to you on a daily basis. I actually have one. He lives in Miami. His name's Micah Shabi, incredible Forbes, top Forbes celebrity coach for 2021. Find your own mentor. Find your own coach out there. Help him do something, add value to his life, and he will add more value to your life. It's a reciprocal thing. So if you need help with any of these things, I'd actually love to be your coach. I'd love to be your accountability partner. I'd love to do all of these things. But if you found this video helpful, then please smash the like button down below and let me know what your thoughts are. Reach out to me on any of the social media platforms in the show notes or the description, wherever you're watching this, and speak to me. What comments, questions, concerns do you have for the show? What can I make better? What can I add? Do you want to be interviewed on my podcast? Let's get together and let's link up. I love you all, and I will see you all in the next episode. Peace out.